Hello everyone, welcome back to the CSFL kickoff show, and today we are here for Super Bowl number 8 in the CSFL between the Detroit Lions and the Tennessee Titans. Wow, it's been a crazy ride for both teams to get here, and we'll certainly be breaking down some of the key moments, the key points, the key trades, etc. before we dive into the actual Super Bowl itself. And of course, joining me today is co-presenter who's been a regular on the show, Josh from the Titans. Josh, congratulations from us for getting to the Super Bowl. How are your nerves right now?
Pretty fried. Thank you. I appreciate that. Making it again. After my initial run, it's been a few years of getting stomped by the Ravens. So I'm glad that we're able to, climb the mountain again. Probably for this core group's last run before I have to finally sit down and figure out how to keep this thing going or rebuild it. So good to have a chance to play against probably the most talented team in league history.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a really interesting game today between two teams that have had a fantastic season to date to get here. But of course, it's not just myself and you on the show today. We are joined by the resident CSFL stats guru, Zimmer. Zimmer, welcome back to the show. It's great to have you here for the Super Bowl. You're going to help us try and break down some of the key statistics and key bits of analysis for this game. I guess anything you want to sort of put out there immediately to the audience to let them know key things to consider.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. I'll try my best to provide a good breakdown. I provided a stat sheet that I think pretty much everybody can view that has most of the key information. The first thing I would like to look at, or at least talk about, is in the roster composition, just how large the talent discrepancy is on average. I guess I can get both of your opinions on how that will affect the game. We know overall isn't like a perfect metric in the system, but if you just look at the overall, there's like an over 5 point difference in the average talent level on both offense and defense between these two teams. Do you guys think that will be decisive or important in this game, or is it going to come down to game planning?
Josh, I'll let you answer that one first, I think.
Where to start on that? Do I think the talent discrepancy will overall impact the game? Yes. No, and I'm I could be funny with it, but at the same time, I do think that part of the discrepancy is my roster is very intentionally selective in certain spots. Like I know that, like for my offensive line, for example, their overalls are low, but the guys that I have in for running are 80 run blockers, and the guys I have in for passing are 80 pass blockers. So it's kind of like this very differentiated, I guess is the word you could use there. But at the same time, like on just certain places, like wide receiver, cornerback depth, like just overall depth, they are the much deeper team, and it's gonna be a challenge. I'm gonna. The one place that we are better at is quarterbacks. So, we will see if there's some magic there. And that's just in, overall, ratings. Not to say that Stafford is not the better quarterback, because, Nordy's the MVP and the, offensive player of the year. So I'm definitely not going to take that away from him. But just in sheer ratings, Rodgers should be there. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think strategy is going to be massively important in this game. I think when you get to this point where there are a lot of teams in the league that are incredibly talented and have, as you said, some GMs deliberately game plan to have some positions that probably aren't as skilled as maybe others, but that's because of a certain strategy and a certain style of play that they run. So I think strategy is going to be essential. And Josh mentioned about the quarterbacks, and I'm sure, Zimmy, you've got some really fascinating insights on the quarterbacks that you want to share before we start the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about the difference between the Titans pre-Rodgers and post-Rodgers, and then we can also look at how Stafford and Rodgers match up. So if you just want to look at the cursory stat matchup page, in the parentheses, there's information about what the Titans are like with Rodgers and what they were like without him, or average on the season. So the biggest one is points, right? So across the whole regular season, the Titans averaged 27.75 points a game. With Rodgers, it jumped to 34.4, which is a huge difference across period of games, right? And it's a lot closer to the Lions than what you'd think. They're averaging only 2 points less a game than the Lions are with Rodgers, which is shocking. Is that what you expected, acquiring Rodgers, that he would increase your points per game that much, Josh?
When I acquired Rodgers, my honest to God goal was efficiency. Schaub was getting the job done, but he was getting the job done at a rate where he was completing, like I want to say, like maybe high 40s, low 50% of his passes. And I just really, really wanted a quarterback that could maybe hit the high 50s, like low 60s. And I knew that would get the offense to where I wanted it to be, which is still kind of a balanced offense. Like I don't think I strayed away from that even after getting Rodgers, but that kind of leap, no, I didn't expect that. I still kind of kept some things the same and still tried to kind of grind teams and keep scores low and that sort of thing. So yeah.
And you really did hit that efficiency difference. You gained about 30 points in QBR on average over Schwab with Rodgers, and your completion percentage increased almost 10%. So really drastic change for your team.
Yeah, no, it definitely turned out really well, which a bunch of people listening are probably rolling their eyes and they're going like, oh yeah, you trade for a great quarterback, of course it's, it turned out well, but it did. And there are great quarterbacks in the league. And I think that the challenge was figuring out how to use him midway through the season, because the playbook did have to change. Like there was stuff that, I actually, if you kind of go look at the first few games, there were places where, Schaub would normally have thrown interceptions on those plays, but I had to I brought them back into the playbook, and I kind of noticed there are certain play types that Rodgers doesn't seem to do well on, so I kind of like weeded those out the playbook a bit. And if I'd had more than 5 games of data, I feel like I could have done a little bit better, but I did what I did, and here we are.
And I also want to talk a little about the Lions offense. The Lions offense has obviously been the best offense in the league. There's no real comparison. I think the big stat that jumps out is that on 81% of the Lions drives, there's a passing play for 20 yards or more. Cleesby, is that something that you've designed for? Is that a function of the roster? Is that what you expected?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fair to say that during the regular season, we mix it up quite a lot between sort of testing certain run strategies to where we do have big games. We tend to really rely on sort of keeping the ball away from the other team offensively and sort of grinding down the minutes of possession, really, which is what we've typically done when we've played an important team. But I think it's been interesting this season and interesting for this one because we've essentially sort of given Stafford the ball in terms of our offense game plan. So it's going to be really interesting to see what he can do with his performances. And you've probably seen that through the season as well. And we've given him a little bit more of a looser leash, really, to sort of see what can happen. And it's worked out okay for us so far getting here. And we'll see how that continues going into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess we should probably also talk a little bit about the only really key injury in the game, Jonathan Cooper, your star guard. Do you think that's going to have a big impact on the game? Has it changed your game planning at all?
I'm hoping not, because I think we've got some depth in sort of the offensive line. So I'm hoping. I mean, we had Cooper was injured, I think, maybe last year for most of the season as well. As I think he was a rookie last year. Correct if I'm wrong, but so hopefully that depth will come into play as well. We'll see. But we've kind of had to rely without him for a long period of time before. So yeah, I think that's the only injury though. I mean, the Titans are coming into this so completely fresh, aren't they, Josh?
Yeah, no, we had a lot of injuries rolling in, but that 17th week bye with the first week bye helped out a lot. And then in the second game, I didn't pick up any fresh injuries, so I think coming into this, we're completely healthy. And I have to say that on the Lions side, seeing him out didn't change anything in my game plan. Like you have more than enough depth to cover for him. So thankfully, we're going to get a Super Bowl that's, at the very least, not tainted by any injuries. And that's all, that's definitely not something that we've gotten every time in the past. So this will be fun to watch.
And I guess, Zimmer, anything else that you wanted to sort of mention before we kick off the game in terms of your analysis that you've kindly provided for the league in terms of this matchup?
I think the other thing that really sticks out to me that could be important to the game, I think it's the Titans' best chance, is if you look at the turnover statistics. The Lions are actually slightly above average in turning the ball over. They've turned the ball over in about 8.5% of their drives, and the Titans are leading the league in turnovers generated. So turnovers are still pretty rare, but I think one of the better chances for the Titans to get a victory is to get a couple interceptions or get a fumble or maybe even a pick six. The Titans are actually one of the better teams at keeping the ball as well. So I think that's something to keep an eye on. Is the turnover battle could be decisive.
Yeah, I agree with the two teams being so close in terms of probably game planning and team depth and quarterbacks. I think that turnover battle could be the thing that decides it, really. This one, it's going to come down to those fine margins, I think, see what happens. And we know Josh is an expert at sort of special teams, so I'm a little bit worried about that, I have to say, because that's something we have no control over, really. And I'm hoping that we get a little bit of luck in that sense, that we don't see some of the Josh special teams designs that we've seen previously.
But yeah, Josh, I wouldn't say I design anything. It's just luck.
You have a knack of getting the right guys. I don't know how you do it. It's just the right guys from receiving, the right guys in terms of the depth and where they go, I guess. That's as far as I know in special teams. But I don't know if you have anything there.
No, but I will say that I picked my coaches with looking at that amount of stars to try to at least make sure that that's something that, since I can't control it, that I've done all I can to control control what you can control.
Yeah, no, I think,
and I don't have any shame in saying that I haven't used Roddy White there all season long, but he's definitely back there right now.
Exactly. This is the thing, and I know Zimmer's point is that both the Titans are probably going to have the ball a lot because that's the way they tend to play on offense, and so we've game planned bearing that in mind, and that we're probably not going to have as much time in position as we have had in other games building into this one. So we'll see whether that is a risk-reward strategy that kind of pays off for us at the Lions. I think it's going to be a fascinating matchup. I really am, and I'm excited to see this one. I think it could go either way. Any final thoughts from yourself, Zimmer, or Josh, in terms of things that you're looking out for or going to keep an eye on as we play this through?
I just want to provide some clarity on what I was saying earlier about how it's going to be a blowout or a shootout. I think the way my team is designed, that is we grind things out, and we don't typically come from behind. That's something we haven't really had to do a lot this season. And to be completely honest, I don't really think we're built that way. So if you get up 2 or 3 touchdowns to start the game, then I think it's going to turn south. But if we can lure you into a shootout, or we can at least keep it tied going, or keep it close going into halftime, then I think it'll be a fun game to watch. So that's kind of my prediction for how the two paths that this will more than likely go.
And Zimmer, anything else from you before we get into this game and see who's going to win Super Bowl VIII?
Oh, I don't think I can torture you guys by dragging it out anymore. We should get going here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get going. So we're going to see a little bit of hickory pokery here on the screens, as I've got to do some really basic screen sharing. So bear with me 1 second. So hopefully you guys can see Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball, not Pro Basketball, hopefully not, Pro Football. Hopefully, you guys can see that. Okay.
You're getting your universes crossed.
Yeah, I am. So you guys can see the screen, okay? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, let's go to watch game.
Looks like a perfect day. 72 degrees indoors.
Looking good. Right, let's put the play speed up a little bit and the animation speed up just a touch. We'll see how that plays, and if you guys think it's going too fast or too slow, please let me know. So here we are. It is Super Bowl number 8. Who is going to win? Will it be the Detroit Lions or the Tennessee Titans?
The next game, I want to campaign for a neutral site Super Bowl.
And off we go. Oh, wow, we're going very fast. Hang on a sec. Let me slow this down.
I think last year we slowed it down.
Yeah, I think we did. I'm just going to change the animation speed down a little bit, if that's okay. So Tennessee on the ball first.
Come on, you had a guy wide open.
Yep.
There was a flag on the play, I believe. A false start by Tennessee as well. And an early 4 and out there by Tennessee.
Not the greatest punt either.
I think we saw 3 of the most popular defensive plays of the season in a row there. There's our first big play of the 26 yards.
About how I thought this would go.
Yeah.
And there's the first blood of the game early on to the Detroit Lions. Pretty much a quick out there, really, for the Tennessee, and then a quick drive by the Lions.
And just like last year, the Lions tight ends are an important part of the offense.
And another false start there by Tennessee.
What the heck is going on?
Getting all those penalties out early on, I think.
It's like 3rd and 38.
So a tough start there by Tennessee.
Titans might be the only top team that runs 5-2. I'm always fascinated by that.
So a quick 3 and out there for the Lions. Let's see if Tennessee can get a drive going in this one.
There we go. First down.
3 rush plays there. First down straight away.
Not getting a penalty. Oh.
The legal block there by Tennessee.
It's ridiculous.
I've seen this happen in away games where like one team will have like 10 or like 9 or 10 penalties for like 100 yards in the game. And it seems a little out of balance. But maybe it's just, fluke.
Hope the defense can hold up again. Slightly under 20 yards.
I could sense the tension in the audience as we watch this. Oh, and there's a defense pass interference.
Jesus.
Oof.
Gotta say, I'm really surprised by the Titans' defensive playbook so far.
In what ways, Zimmer?
As I told you all before, I don't have any 3-4 or any of that in my playbook. It's if your coach has low flexibility, then whatever's in their playbook, they will occasionally call.
Yeah. That's why it's really important to line up the coaches with the style you want to play.
I have no control over that.
Oh, and a big play there by Tennessee. White for 29 yards. And we move into the second quarter of the game. Rodgers airing it out with 2 plays there.
Good. Let's keep it going. Get some momentum.
Okay, we might bit of a great start here in the second quarter by Tennessee. Ooh, now within good territory. Can they get the points on the board here? And they can. So that takes it to 14-7. Really
he's
good
making a
two plays
game.
there by Rodgers.
Better go for 2.
Right. Not seeing the ball often enough.
Might see a stop here.
That would be nice. Oh, nope.
And a penalty on Detroit there. Cooper's playing, by the way. That was a pen on Cooper. So he can't have been that injured.
Even though he's apparently out. Good old Wolverine sports. Didn't that happen last year with the Ravens offensive lineman who was supposed to be out and then they played?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe because it's Super Bowl, they have a higher chance of playing. I don't know. It's really, really random, isn't it, the injury sometimes in this game?
Yeah. Well, I guess for the Super Bowl, you can bust out the more serious painkillers.
Yeah, yeah.
A good old shot.
So Tennessee starting their drive here with some really good rushing here.
Mm.
3rd and 2 here. Oh, good catch. Good drive here going into the final minutes of the second quarter. This is the thing about Tennessee's offense is that their time in possession is always huge because you have a really good mix between the long plays and sort of the time-consuming rush plays and sort of short plays, really. That's the one thing I noticed was that your offensive strategy is really about sucking the time out of the opposition as well.
Yeah, that was the whole impetus behind getting Rodgers.
Yeah,
and there's when I do take those shots, I just wanted a higher rate of success.
Yeah, and there's 3 points on the board there for Tennessee, so they're putting it back within 4 here.
Yeah, but that was way too much time to leave you. Yep.
A 64-yard pass there to Keller.
Too short for the Lions. Stone's probably like, what the hell? Only 64 yards?
Right.
I'm sure that was scripted to be 90 or 100.
So it's a 3rd and 2 here, a big 3rd and 2, to be honest with you. Oh, and the 1 yard line. And we kick it, of course we do. Oh, man. This game sometimes. I just would love to have more control over that sort of thing, really. And 1 yard line, you just go for it, wouldn't you? But there we are.
I would have kicked that.
Would you?
Yeah, I would
have gone for it.
I would have kicked that in real life.
Interesting.
Well, it puts you up by 7, I guess, when you kick it.
Yeah, I guess. It just gives Rodgers a lot of time here. He's got timeouts as well.
But they're running because,
Well, the running's been working. They've been moving down the field at ease with that at the minute. Almost in field goal range as well. Now definitely in field goal range.
Yeah, but is there going to be time left?
We have time to get it off.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it is. And
it's
good. With a second to go. Okay, I'm going to pause it there. So we are at halftime. Detroit Lions 17, Tennessee Titans 13. Zimmer, let's get your reaction first. As a neutral watching this, what have you noticed so far in this game, and what are the keys to either team coming through and being a Super Bowl champion here?
The 2 main things I noticed are that both defenses are playing really well, which is a pretty stark contrast from the last Super Bowl between the Lions and the Ravens, where I think there was maybe 1 stop. And the second thing is the Lions' passing defenses seemed pretty locked down. I think that the Titans need to get a couple of long pass plays in the second half if they want to come in and win this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Josh, your reaction from the Tennessee point of view so far? Down by 4, it's looking like it's going to be a cracking second half.
Yeah, no, I think those are actually, the correct observations. The run game's kind of going the way I hoped it would, and we're definitely getting pushed in the line. But at the same time, when we're taking those shots over the field, we're not getting them. But you saw what happens when we do. So we just gotta hope that we can connect on a few more of those, and some of that fourth quarter magic comes out.
Yeah, who knows where this is going to go the second half. I think from my perspective, the Lions, we came out strong to begin with, and then Tennessee have edged back in. Those two plays that Rodgers had passing deep between the first quarter and second quarter has really propelled the Titans, in my opinion, to really narrowing that gap. And so maybe we'll see how the second half goes if they can bring out that sort of performance as well. It's just going to go down to the wire. Should we watch the second half and see who comes out as the Super Bowl champion in Super Bowl VIII?
You guys get the ball to start the half, I think. So let's hope we don't see you march right down. Let's go.
Okay, let's see.
Nope, Titans get the ball.
Oh, nope. Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit.
Am I reading that backwards? Oh, yeah, I am.
So 3 and out there for the Lions. Didn't get anywhere on the rushing there at all, but back to Tennessee.
It's really a testament to how good Tennessee's defense is that there have been so many stops. Because I don't think anybody else has stopped the Lions this many times.
No, that they've really nullified the rush game in particular. So
oh
far.
My God!
An illegal shift there by Tennessee.
Are we gonna get a safety?
Nope. Rodgers is injured on the play. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, I did.
Rodgers just got injured on that play. That could be a completely drastic change in this Super Bowl if he doesn't come back out.
Well, it seems like it might not matter anyway. I'm about to put a snap on it, or at the very least go up by another touchdown. Yep.
There it is. Dwayne Bowe with the touchdown there to go up by just over a touchdown. I'm going to be really interested to see whether Rodgers comes back out now. I really hope he does. It's never fun to see a quarterback get injured, especially in the big stage like this. Do you know what number he is, Josh?
Nope, Nick Foles is in.
Oh, man. So Rodgers must be injured. Oh, man, Josh, I feel for you, man. I really do.
Foles has won a Super Bowl before. Not in the CSFL, of course.
Nah, it's pretty much over. That and just all these penalties, man. This is insane.
Yeah, that's a crazy lot of penalties.
About 10 by now.
It'll be interesting to see the total once we can view the box score.
Yeah, absolutely. As the Lions put another 7 up there.
Yep.
What's Foyle's ratings actually like? Is he atrocious or is he semi-competent? Do we know?
He's like almost on the cusp of being 80 and everything.
Oh, okay. So he should be okay with a Rodgers style playbook then, in theory.
He's got 78 arm, 80 intelligence, and 80 accuracy. He's a
Yeah, so
73
he's-
overall.
Obviously, no Rodgers, but
Yeah, I just lost, I think, another player on offense.
yeah, you lost your center, I think, in that one. So Tennessee suffering some catastrophic injuries, really, in the second half. Putting up 3 on the board there. Man, I honestly, I feel for you. I really do. It's the worst thing. We'll have to see what his injury is after this as well. See what injury he's picked up. So the Tennessee defense is still playing fairly well, though.
Defense
Still
is
holding us.
But at this point, they need a turnover.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get a quick drive here in the fourth quarter, bring it back close.
The Lions are already almost at their season average for points scored. So, unfortunately, the Tennessee defense hasn't played that well. On average, the Lions have scored about 37
big
points.
Play there. Big play there from Foyles to White. This is a really, really crucial drive now. Another injury there, I think. I'm not sure. Your tackle, I think, just got injured there as well, Josh.
Love those batch injuries.
Yeah.
Someone should really make a forum post about those.
Wonder if anyone has actually did that in First Access. So chipped us away. We were within 12 now. A turnover here, and maybe it's still possible to bring this one back, bringing a close game.
I'm just glad they're, at least making it interesting to stare at the screen for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you've stopped us a fair few times in the second half. I think that would be the one question mark right now. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but the Rodgers injury is just.
Yeah, it's losing your starting quarterback in the Super Bowl.
So we've got 5 minutes left to go in this one.
He should have gone for that. That was dumb.
Yeah. Lions just burning down some of that clock, I think, at the minute.
Oh, this should be fun.
Unnecessary reference on Tennessee.
Oh, great run there, though. And a penalty from Detroit. Yeah. As we wind down the last 2 minutes or so in this one, Foyles put up a big play, big drive here on 3rd and 10.
No, we chose to run it over, giving it to him.
and a turnover.
It tells you about my offseason. Backup quarterback.
And this one's winding down.
Rodgers might retire after getting injured in the Super Bowl.
Who knows? Honestly, who knows?
That would be painful. What is his contract like?
He's got like 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years at like 13, like 14 million.
Yeah, 13 mil.
Has he got? Is he considering retirement at all? Any status or anything, or is it?
No.
So maybe. I mean, he's got legend status, hasn't he, as well? So.
Oh, hey, the personality is accurate for him. His social type is whining celebrity. We've been wrong the whole time about the personality system. It's actually really accurate.
As we finished the Super Bowl VIII, the Detroit Lions have won 34-19. I mean, let's go to the box score, shall we, and try and break down some of this. Let me just close this down and go to the box score. So hopefully you guys can see that okay. Right, so in terms of things we were interested in, penalties, the Titans had 7 penalties to the Lions 3. Well, I mean, Rodgers only with 12 attempts in the game, really. Kind of the story of it. I mean, Zimmer, let's go to you first for your reaction on that one. Bit of a deflated ending, I think, in terms of the Rodgers injury, but anything else you want to sort of share about the game or about any of your expectations that you had that maybe changed as we were watching that?
I mean, I guess the biggest thing that sticks out to me is Stafford's stat line, actually. Even for him, he had a crazy game. 75% completion rate, perfect QBR, 3 TDs. That's, against the Titans defense, that's pretty shocking. I mean, maybe it shouldn't be because it's the Lions after all, but that is impressive.
I mean, we did what we could. We held them to 1 of 9 on 3rd downs.
Yeah.
Like Stafford's always going to be efficient, but we stop drives, and that's the goal. I kind of true to the real life Titans. My goal is to make you drive so long that you eventually make a mistake and we get the ball back. And I think for the most part that worked. How many field goals did Gostkowski hit that were because we couldn't get 3 yards to get a first down?
Yeah, and he limited his yards too. I mean, he normally averages over 300 yards, so it wasn't. It's not like the Titans defense was. I'm not saying it was like terrible. It's just crazy how well Stafford managed to perform.
Yeah. No. Obviously, we were bad. We couldn't turn the ball over, and he didn't even get sacked. He was untouched. Actually, was there only 2 sacks in the whole game? Yeah.
Yep.
I'll scroll down. So just the 1 sack. 2 sacks recorded here. Yeah, you're right. Jones and Arakko. But yeah, I mean, look, I think it's one of those things. I mean, we'll have a look at the Rodgers injury in a second because I'm sure Josh is sitting there nervously worrying about what sort of injury Rodgers has got and the impact that will have.
No, it'll disappear going into the new season. So it's what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, fair. I think the Titans actually on defense managed to slow us down a fair bit in terms of our rushing game. We're normally a bit more balanced than this. You can see the rush per yard was fairly low for us. I think that it's going to come down to coming into that second half, the gap being 4 points, and then within just a few plays, Rodgers being knocked out is going to deflate any team really. You're not going to have the equivalent quarterback to just throw in there. I think that was unfortunate, really unfortunate, and I think that completely changed the dynamic of the game. And as Joshy said, we could see there a couple of drives that maybe wouldn't have been stopped and been a field goal if Rodgers was there to maybe have a bit more arm strength and a bit more intelligence than Foyles had. But I guess, Josh, anything else you want to sort of mention in terms of the game or in terms of the Titans going forward? Commiserations, obviously, on the loss. I think Rodgers was the biggest factor in that. But I don't know if you saw anything else that you want to sort of pick apart.
No, not really. It was pretty much a dud. I enjoyed watching it, but when your best overall player goes down, at the beginning of the third quarter, even if we'd been ahead, I would expected to watch a comeback. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I let me stop right there because I do feel bad because at the same time, no one is congratulating you on repeat victories. You have won back-to-back championships, and that is actually something that should be celebrated. So I'm not going to commiserate. We should switch to that and congratulate you on winning another one, because even before Rodgers went down, you were leading in the game. You were going up into halftime.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those. Though it's great to win back to back, and see Stafford perform as well as we saw here is fantastic. I have complete empathy with the Rodgers injury. If that had happened to Stafford, no way Tannehill would have had the same performance, and we'd have been in a terrible situation as well. And I can empathise with the frustration, the annoyance, and the wonderful world that does happen with the random injuries like that. So it's been great. I think I was really hoping for it to be a close neck and neck one, and I thought it was at half time. 4 points difference. Both teams were kind of putting strings of points together, and I was expecting it to go down to the wire, but unfortunately that completely changed the dynamic of the game. So commiserations. The Detroit Lions, obviously we've won the Super Bowl VIII. Any sort of signing comments off from you guys on the game, or just in terms of performances that stood out for you before we bring this one to a close?
Yeah, I'd like to say congratulations on your Super Bowl win. And sorry, Josh.
No, appreciate it. And I think that's probably said the same thing.
Yeah, I'm sure Josh will find a way to get himself back there with a full season, hopefully, of Rodgers not retiring. I'm sure that once he's sorted out some of that editing of the playbook, as we mentioned, he's only had him for a few games. I'm sure Tennessee will be back on top next year as well, and be fighting for that Super Bowl. But thank you very much for both of you for joining the show today. And we will be back probably in the future in the off season, talk about trades, drafts, free agency, all those fun things. And of course, we will have Zach back on to talk about his season preview primer, as we always do. So best of luck to both of you for the off season and the draft. And we'll be back shortly to talk about all of those crazy things. And we'll sign off the 2017 season with the Detroit Lions winning Super Bowl VIII.